It's all one big
Yeah,
back
we're
and forth.
one.
Yeah. Usually I like to banter with you, but I want to cut to the chase. I got a lot of things I want to talk to our guest about today. It's Richie Figueroa, cadet world silver medalist. He's on the junior world team this summer.
Mhm.
Won 3 California state titles. Headed to Arizona State University. So let's just go ahead and bring him on. Richie, how are you?
Good. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, you
Great to
bet,
talk.
man. So, real quick, you're down in San Diego. Give me the rundown. What you're doing down there? Who you're training with? How things are going?
I'm training with one of my coaches named Puma. We're just getting some technique in, some going over stuff, watching film of last weekend or 2 weeks ago, and just see what I could have done better and stuff.
All right. Well, I'm. You're gonna have to look pretty hard because your last performance was pretty lights out. But there's always tweaks to be made.
Yeah.
Um, so let's get to Selma. Right? You grew up in Selma. You're from Selma, California, and I've actually never been there, but I know people have been there, and I hear it's quite the wrestling town community, and has a pretty solid wrestling culture. Just growing up in Selma, what was it like? And what was it like, I guess, being introduced to wrestling or being around wrestling? What wrestling's like in that community?
Well, first I did MMA, so I didn't really know nothing about wrestling. So my mom's friend told her about wrestling, and they took me to Selma practice, and then Selma just stages as beginners, and then you get advanced to the elite group. So I was at beginners first, and then it was hard, but I liked it because you were able to throw people around and stuff. And then I got eventually good. Like my second year, I won Reno Nationals. My second year wrestling, and then my third year, I won the Trinity. So it was since then, and it was just great. I mean, our coaches just practiced a lot, kind of like hard. We did a lot of top and bottom. I would say nothing too much on feet, just basic double, single, but we worked a lot of top. I would say.
So, most people, you typically hear somebody wrestles for however long, and then they transition into MMA. You like went the opposite route, which is crazy, especially because how old were you when you were doing this MMA and kind of got introduced to wrestling afterwards?
So I was like, think 4 or 5. Like I had like 3 fights already, and then
What? Come
yeah, I had 3 fights already, and then
on!
transitioned to um, wrestling.
What does a 4-year-old MMA fight look like? Headgear and shin guards and
Yeah,
in.
just yeah, like you could only just hit to the stomach and stuff and legs, nothing to the face.
You can punch
So
and kick.
yeah, you can punch a kick into the body and stuff, like throw them, slap them, and stuff.
I've never heard of this. Was it in a cage? Was it in a ring? Was it on like
Yeah,
a wrestling jiu-jitsu mat?
it was in a cage actually. Yeah, it was in a cage. I forgot what it's called, but pancration, I think, or I don't know.
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Pancration is a form of fighting.
yeah.
That's insane. So, and at what point did you just like drop the pancration, or did you still do it?
When I'm with my strength and conditioning coach, that's who I do with my weight cuts and stuff, and training. So sometimes I'd be hitting the mitts once in a while, but yeah, I still kind of do it once in a while.
Is that a long-term thing, like post-college wrestling? Do you see yourself maybe getting back into it?
I don't know. I don't know. Either that or boxing. I don't know.
Okay, so you're just like combat sport athlete. Like,
Yeah,
let's tangle.
yeah.
Wow.
So
Okay. Um, you won the Trinity Award in your second or third year of wrestling. I mean, you're obviously good at it, right? But what did you like about it, and what drew you, I guess, away from pancration and into taking people down and pinning them?
um, well, it was kind of tough because like if I would have lost, then my mom would be mad. So I didn't want that to happen. Or our coaches be mad, then we would know it was going to be a hard practice the next week. So and then just winning stuff, my parents would just like, hey, if you win this, I could get you a new toy or something, whatever. So I'd be like, all right. So I would just go out there, try my best, and win.
Okay. Um, who started wrestling first? You or Gracie? Your
Me,
sister, for those who don't know. Okay.
yeah. So I started 3 years, like 3 years into it, 4 years, and then when she was like 10 or whatever, she was doing cheerleading and dancing, and then she just like, nah, no more of this. So she went to wrestling.
And what was that? You know, was it because she came to your practices or matches and saw you wrestle, or like what was that like? Her transitioning from cheerleading, which is a lot different
Mhm.
in wrestling,
Yeah.
into such a physical, combat sport.
Well, she saw like how I would always be traveling, and then she would just get left behind with my grandma because we would be traveling to Tulsa, Reno, all kinds of tournaments. Then she's like, you know what? I want to travel too and win matches and beat up on these boys and stuff. And she liked it ever since.
Yeah, she's done a great job. So I guess what's the Selma system like as far as you have these kids who practice and you said not a lot of feet, just standard takedowns, but a
Mhm.
lot of mat wrestling and how connected is like the youth club and I don't know if there's a difference between the youth club in middle school and high school. Is it all kind of one system or is it like
Yeah,
segmented?
it's one system. Yeah, it's in one system. So like you go to Abraham Lincoln, and then from like whatever elementary school you go to, and then from Abraham Lincoln you go to Selma, the high school, and then you just go on from there. And then like it's just a lot of technique, honestly, and then having fun. We just have fun, honestly. It's like a family. So we grew up with each other. Like the thing is, we grew up with each other from the youth club all the way to high school, so we know how we could push our limits and stuff. So that's what is something special about Selma.
I think that's awesome and can be very valuable is installing a culture, right? That you understand as a youth, and like you say, we grow up together, and then you take that culture and mentality from the youth program into the high school, and
Mm-hmm.
it seems like it's had a lot of success for Selma.
Yes. Yes.
Cool. So as you're transitioning from a youth wrestler to setting your sights on high school, did you have goals? Was it hey, I want to win state. I want to win state once. I want to place. I want to win state. Was it a four-time goal early on, or was that a goal at some point?
Well, so I was in middle school, and my none of my family or parents or anybody wrestled or anything. So like to the next level. So I thought after middle school, I was gonna be done. I was like, yes, I could play football. I could do baseball or something. Then my mom's like, well, you're going to high school and there's wrestling. So I was like, what? I mean, I don't want to do wrestling no more. And then I just like just felt well. I knew I was gonna always gonna do wrestling, so I did it. And then I decided to start setting goals from right there.
Was there a goal to was it like I want to do well my freshman year, or was it a bigger picture goal where like I want to be a four-time state champ, or did you
Well,
even know about the cadet and junior world teams at that point?
no, I didn't even know about that. I just knew. I only knew because of my sister, because she was three grades higher than me. So when she won state, I was like, "Dang, I want to win state," because the people around her just coming up to her and stuff, asking for autographs. And then when she won her second state title, then she kept on going and going. So I was like, "Dang, I got to catch up." So yeah, I just always try to catch up to my sister. And then when she made the world team and stuff, I was like, oh, that's cool. I want to travel to Europe or wrestle these foreigners and stuff. And then
Yeah.
I just found it even more.
Yeah, that's great. So it's like you had this role model, if you will, right? To look after and
Yeah,
like you understood what the next level was before you got there because you witnessed it firsthand.
yeah.
Did
It
you
was
did Yep, go ahead.
I mean, it was great because she told me, hey, if you want to, go to college, you gotta have good grades. You gotta stay on top of it. Practice hard in the wrestling room and just be you and stuff. So that's that's what I just took and went on from there.
Seeing her have that success, was that something that gave you the confidence to believe like, yeah, I can do this? Because a lot of kids don't think I can just go win state as a freshman or I can make a world team or a medal.
Mm, yeah, I knew. I mean, I had the right coaches, Sam, Coach Joey, and then my other coaches, Coach Puma, Coach Cleo, Valencia, my strength conditioning. I just trusted them, and then like the technique and stuff. And then I knew I was gonna win it because of just the mindset and stuff of like our team and stuff. Our coaches really gave us good mindsets before prep talks, before matches. So that's what I loved. And we just had fun, honestly, having fun out there. Then you just feel more confidence of doing moves, showcasing, and just winning and stuff.
Can you give me some insight or examples of, you talk about this mindset and the pep talks that the coaches give you. Can you give any examples of the types of things they say or how it sinks
Yeah,
into you? Because I
yeah,
think this is so valuable and so important, right? Everybody thinks you got to have the best double leg and the best tilt or turns or halves or gut wrench or this or that, which you have to have. But if it's not right between the ears, you can have all that and it's not going to
mm,
work.
yeah. Well, my coaches just be like if you're cutting weight, like just look like you're cutting weight, like you're not just gonna cut weight and lose. Like you gotta like go out there and like f them up and stuff. So you gotta show them like, all right, like you just gotta. He would just say a lot of stuff that I can't really say, but that would pump you up. So and just having like I don't care mentality, like coming into that junior world team trials, I was on a like losing big losing streak just for big competition, and he was just like, hey Richard, like you need to have that mentality back freshman year, like when you don't care, when you weren't seated, when no one knew who you were or anything. Just go back to that and just have fun. So I was like, all right. I mean, I have nothing to lose, so I just went in there with the don't care mentality, just talking to myself like, let's go, Richard. You could do this. Let's go. Come on. Let's get this one back. Let's get it one at a time and stuff. So I was just talking to myself and then just listening to music, my music, just pumping me up, dancing a little bit, getting a rhythm, and then just all click from there.
Sure. What kind of music do you like to listen to before you wrestle?
Um, I like Young Boy. I listen to him. Some Tupac, Mac Dre, Snoop Dogg, some Odies and stuff, and some rap and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so let's rewind. Your junior year of high school, you win the states, and I don't know exactly when states are usually in February or March, depending upon what state you're
Mm,
in. I think California might be March, but I'm not positive.
yeah.
But then COVID hit. What was that like? So you got the states in, then it hits, and when we think 3 weeks, 3 months, this is gonna last, but it lasted. It's still the effects are still here in a
Yeah.
lot of places. But when it initially hit, what was that like for you? How did that affect your life? How did that affect your training? Like in the most lockdown parts of the lockdown.
Well, after that week of state, because that was the next week when they shut it down of school. So I was supposed to go on a visit to Oklahoma State that next week. And then it was like the next day I was going to leave to Oklahoma State. But then that's when I got texts and the school announced, oh, everyone call their parents, or if you have a car, drive home. Like, just not going to be school. So we weren't in school for like 2, 3 weeks. And then we just went online. And then like I stood 1 month out, just seeing what, just in case if anything happens, just be safe. And then we called up Valencia and say, hey, are you having practice down there? And then he's like, yeah. So he built this big old he brought back his monster garage room, and so I stood out there for basically like a year. Then I would go with my coach Puma after I get a couple trainings in there, and then I would go to different places too to wrestle. So yeah,
Sure.
it was pretty struggling, but I was still getting trying to get it working at the same time.
It sounds like you were creative and adaptive to the situation to figure out how you can still continue to train and get yourself better.
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't an issue because I already knew Valencia just the way he loves wrestling. I knew he couldn't last a month or 2 months without wrestling, so I knew the garage was going to be built and mats laying out and stuff. And so once I got that call to come, we just started training day by day, just inviting a little bit people here and there, and yeah, just from there, just kept on growing and well, allowing more people in to wrestle. So that's what was good about it.
Nothing. I don't know if anything can get in between Ruben Valencia and wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing. I don't think so.
He loves it and he's passionate about it, no doubt. And that's great that you guys had that opportunity to I guess, revisit the Monster Garage. Um, let's talk about the recruiting a little bit, right? Obviously, you're having the success in California, which is just like a very tough state to win.
Mhm.
So, and I believe you look around and you verbally committed early on, right, to Arizona State.
Yeah,
What was it
yeah.
about Arizona State that drew you in and then led you to commit?
I was just closer to home, and then just like my idols, like Kato Levis. I used to watch him wrestle growing up. I liked the way he wrestled. I saw him wrestle a lot at Tulsa, just whipping on kids. So then once he was going to what's it called? When he announced he was going to Arizona State, then he got his concussion. I was like, dang, that sucks. But then I just fell in love with it when I went there. Just saw the campus, and it was close to home, and close so my family to come see and my coaches and everything.
Yeah. Um, but even once you committed, right? Because I mean, you can commit before you actually sign, and
Yeah.
that's the case that happened with you. What was that like? Because I believe like it was still kind of open season, and probably a lot of people were still contacting you and recruiting you.
Yeah.
Who was recruiting you? Who was recruiting you hard? And did you consider going somewhere else?
I had Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma State, a little bit, and then Penn State. So I couldn't go to those last two, but I was able to visit Ohio State and Michigan. And Ohio State was good. I liked the coaches. The facility was pretty dope. Never seen anything like that.
Yeah,
Uh, that was my first time going to like a Big Ten football game, so I was like, damn, these crowds are crazy. So it was something way different from seeing how passionate they were for football and stuff. And then Michigan, I didn't go to the game. Um, let's see, I went to a hockey game, my first hockey game, so it was pretty cool. Um, Campus was great, coaches are great, the academics. It was too. I just didn't think it would fit right for me. I don't like cold weather and stuff. So, but yeah.
yeah, that's a big difference. Did you ever consider going somewhere else, or were you just like leaving your options on the table, but really the whole time maybe you knew Arizona State was the place for you?
Um, I knew it was gonna be the place, but I just left it open just in case if anything happens. But like within like 2 weeks before the actual signing, like actually the early signing and stuff, I just sat down with my mom and parents and just cross out the things I didn't like about each school I visited and then the things I like, and then just came down to Arizona State I liked the most.
Sure. I want to transition back to like international wrestling and cadet worlds, and I know the juniors are coming up, but you took silver and then you made the team. Where were those world championships held at? The cadet world championships in 18 and 19. Had you ever been overseas anywhere like that? And I guess just what was the experience like wrestling and just like outside of the wrestling, traveling over to probably Europe, and
Yeah.
it's just different.
So in 18 it was in Croatia, Sofia. So it was pretty great. I mean, you had a great team. Um, it was pretty crazy because when we got there, it was during the World Cup that year when Croatia went to like the semis, I think, for the World Cup. So like that day before I was about to wrestle, I just heard just loud like clapping, cheering. I don't know, fireworks or something. I was like, dang, what's going on outside in the street? And then I guess I see like a lot of people, like at least thousands of people in the middle of the street just going crazy because they just won. So I hardly got sleep that first day of the tournament. So it was a pretty cool experience to have, but I was tired, but um, just felt confident, and it was just weird just seeing different stuff and how people speak and just the way people live and stuff. It's more um, cleaner, I guess, and more, I would say, not too much stuff to do, honestly, but because we were wrestling, but I would love to experience more of it. But then in 2019, we went to Bulgaria. Um, Not a great place. I wouldn't even want to go there for a family vacation. That place is not somewhere you don't want to be, but it gives you like a wake up call, kind of see how grateful we are to live in America and stuff compared to other countries. And
Sure.
then going into that tournament, I felt confidence, but I felt like I just wasn't the right mindset. I think the right mindset going into that, and I should have slowed down my pace a little bit, going up to this weight, and then just picking people apart, and just got caught with the reshot, and then I got laced up, and then that was it. But overall, it's a great experience wrestling these foreigners and stuff because it gives you a different look how other people wrestle, and compared to us Americans, all fast speed, they're more tactical and more explosive. So it's kind of hard. You don't know what they're gonna do. So and they've been practicing freestyle their whole life. So um, which is the kind of more advantage to them. But if you're good at wrestling, you're good at it.
Yeah. Um, did anything surprise you about the different styles, and were you prepared for it, or was it like you have to get out there and feel these different styles that you just described before you can understand them?
Well, when my sister asked her like how these foreigners are, she's like, they're pretty good. I was like, man, they can't be that good. Like, come on now. So my first time going out there, I was like, all right, let's see if this speed thing would work compared to these foreigners. So my first year going to, I was like hitting double speed, fakes, a lot of that, and then it worked. And then you gotta like notice that some like people like foreigners attack off that, so you kind of got to slow down the speed a little bit. Depends on who you're wrestling, so you got to really strategize and see who you're gonna wrestle. Honestly, just take video. I mean, take down notes and stuff, so um, you could be prepared because I mean, there's some slick foreigners out there that you got to be ready for.
Sure. Um, let's move back to this past non-season, I guess. Um, COVID hit a week after your junior state tournament. Nobody, I don't think, thought it would last this long. And as we progressed through November, December, and into the new year, was there hope that you would have a state tournament? Did you think you would have a state tournament? And at what point was it clear that it just wasn't going to happen?
Well, our coach was saying, just keep training, do what you got to do, because they were gonna let us into our facility or school. So he said, just go out to Valencia, get some training in, and I'll give you a call or text. I'll still keep in touch to see how you're doing. And then once they announced, like, oh, we're going to have a meeting um, this year in the middle, I forgot, I think it was in October, they're like, oh, we're going to push it back. So we didn't have that meeting, I think. And we just kept on pushing it back, pushing it back. So I was like, uh, at this point, I was like, man, I don't even want to wrestle no more this year. I might as well just get ready for college and head out there. But my coach said, oh, there might be a season. But then it was like 2 weeks before the junior trials. Um, I got someone texting me on, no, someone notified me on Instagram, said, oh, like, I felt like sorry that you didn't get a season. Like, what do you mean? So I called my coach. He's like, hey, are we having a season? And he's like, nah. So I was like, damn. I just said, well, I'm sorry, because our goal was to be a four-timer. You know, we almost had it with Alex Cincinnati. So just winning that four-time would be good for the town of Selma, and then people to know that we're a wrestling town and have more kids wrestle and just keep building that legacy of Selma. But he said, there's going to be more things ahead of you, more accomplishments. So don't worry about it. We still got your back no matter what. And go win this trials and go make the world team, basically. And after that, go enjoy life, be NCAA champ if you want to be, and most importantly, graduate with a degree.
You know, a lot of people who are in your position, like coming up on a fourth state title potentially, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been devastated and it could have really hurt them or crushed them or whatever you want to say. It sounds like it just
Mhm.
kind of like water off,
Yeah.
just kind of like no big, not like no big deal, but kind of. Where does that perspective come from?
Uh, from my coach Sam, honestly, like he'd always tell me there's always gonna be something bigger and better. So and then winning this, I knew it was like, all right, I would consider this as my fourth state title run, I guess.
Sure.
Knowing coming into that junior trials, like, you know what, this is gonna be my last high school, whatever. As a Selma person, as a Sunkiss Monster Garage, I'm gonna go out with the bang. So I had a rep whether I was sponsored by them, my people back home. So and having a don't care mentality. So that was great.
You definitely went out with the bang. Let's start at who's number one, right? You wrestled Drake Ayala. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think I've heard you weren't 100%. Give me
Mm-hmm.
whatever details you want to give me about that event.
I was like 2 months, good training, solid training, 100%, and then going wrestling live. Uh, some kid got in a scramble, pulled my knee up, then it popped. My LCL popped, so I couldn't walk for on it. So it was like a month out before who's number one. So I didn't train for like 4 weeks straight. I could barely walk, and then once I finally got to walk a little bit, I just like, you know what, might as well just give this a try. If I could walk, I could be good. So I was doing therapy a little bit, and then only had 1 week of training, and then we left to Austin, and then uh, we just see how it was gonna be, and then I just felt a little bit better going into it because I knew once my adrenaline hit, I'll be fine. But I was just hesitant during that match just to shoot, so I just don't mess it up anymore. I would say just protecting my knee, which I shouldn't have that mentality. I should have just let it fly. But things happen. You win some, you lose some. So that's all right.
Sure. Um, and then I guess that takes us into the trials that just happened maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that in Iowa. And you said you've been on a losing streak, or at least at major events. Give me
Mhm.
what you mean by losing streak, or kind of what those losses were.
Um, so the PA one was kind of iffy call. I would say no too. So losing that one, I was like, man, like these kids had a season, PA had a season, so I knew like his timing was gonna be on point and stuff. Or, I mean, he didn't really shoot, so I just knew everything's for him was gonna be on timing. For me, it's always just been practicing. It's different. You just practice, nothing really live like compared to matches. So it was just kind of difficult, just losing because like, man, I shouldn't have lost to these kids. I mean, I'm way time like better than them. So um, then I started. So before trials, I did like 3 tournaments. I knew how to do 3 tournaments, so my timing could be on. They've been having local tournaments in Bakersfield. So I would just do them like at least like 5 kids would show up, or I would go up a weight class at least to get at least 5 or 2 more matches. So that helped a lot because then it showed when I got the trials, my timing was on point. So it worked out in the long run.
I guess just kind of take us through the tournament. We'll start with the rematch against Drake. How'd you feel about that one?
Mhm. Good. I mean, I felt 100%. I mean, I didn't have to cut no weight, so I was big chilling. I knew I was gonna get that one back for sure. Um, I just knew he was gonna come in the second period and with the high pace, but I don't get tired, so he was gonna shoot that single. I knew most of the time, so I just had to do my own thing, honestly, not let him do his own thing. So just shot singles, 2-on-1s. If he got in a shot, I knew my wizard was gonna be good. So yeah, that was it going into it. But I just had a good mentality, and I just knew I wasn't gonna lose to him, honestly.
I mean, were you as confident coming in as you fit? You wrestled great, and you had a completely dominant, a very great run at Junior World Team Trials.
Mhm.
Did you surprise yourself at all, or were you like, no, that's what I expected to do?
I surprised myself a little bit, but not too much because I knew with all the technique I've learned from different coaches and stuff, like, man, I'm gonna pull out some trick, not even a trick, but just my technique and stuff that I always be practicing, and just going back to my rhythm, just feeling 100% like I would be at a state tournament. Honestly, that's how
Yeah,
I felt.
yeah, it was fantastic performance. Um, and I guess well, I guess looking ahead to Junior Junior World Championships. Do you, and since you've been to cadets a couple times, do you like feel like you know some of the competitors from the other countries, and have a feel for who might be there, or is it like whoever shows up, whatever?
Yeah, whoever shows up, honestly. I know it's gonna be a little bit harder because they say juniors and seniors just right there next to each other.
Uh
So
huh.
I just gotta be prepared for what's to come and just be on the A game when it's time.
Sure. And then looking a little further ahead, at ASU you have Courtney and McGee at 25 and
Hmm.
33. They both have 2 years left. Has there been
Hmm.
any discussion with Zeke Jones or the staff or any of those guys of like how that might shake out, or would somebody might move up, or they
No,
got three hammers?
I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. Redshirt my first year and then go on from there.
Do you
So
think you?
that's it.
Yeah. Do you think you'll? I mean, next year you think you'll see yourself at 25?
Yeah, yeah, 25 for sure.
Do you think? I mean, it's hard to predict, right? You're only probably
Yeah,
18. Do you have any idea? Do you think you'll grow? Do you think you'll stay at 25 for life or for a while?
yeah, I'll stay at 25s. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah.
Um. So what's the rest of your summer look like? Training camps or?
Yeah, training camps. After after I graduate from high school, a couple weeks later, 25th or the 26th is moving day when I go to Arizona State, and then I think the week or like the next 2 days after that, I head uh, to the training camp for the USA. So yeah, it's gonna be a busy summer.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Richie, you have a built-in training camp, as you mentioned, with your sister being there. How much do you guys train against each other and work out?
Well, whenever we get the chance to see each other, or when she comes down, or if I go up to her, we always drill with each other, just picking each other's brains, seeing what could we do better, who could get the better ankle pick, who could get the better low singles. So we train a lot, as much as we can when we see each other.
I mean, she says she can beat you. Now, we just got to settle it once for all. Can she really beat you, or can you get something in on her occasionally?
I could beat her. I could beat her for sure. Sure, no doubt about it. Now I got a little bit of man strength in me. I could beat her now.
Was there a time when
Well,
that
what
wasn't the case?
Yeah, because she was way bigger than me. I was like 90 pounds, 100, so she was already grown, and she would just, I mean, I would get in shots on her, but she would just use her weight on me and then just spin around. So yeah, I was always too able to get on the legs on her, but never to finish. But now I can.
Gotcha. When did that transition happen? Where you went from when you finally started to be able to beat her?
mm, I would say like sophomore year. Sophomore year.
For you, sophomore year of high school?
Yeah, sophomore year of high school.
Okay. Did that cause any tension?
Yeah, because then we would just lead to fights, not even wrestling. So it was kind of rough wrestling with her because I knew she would get mad every time I scored on her.
Sure.
Hey, Richie, when you go into the California State Tournament and you see that 48-man bracket, it's a lot different in other states. Is that kind
Hmm.
of intimidating when you see that?
No, honestly, because like at Tosa Nationals when I was a kid, I mean, we used to have big old brackets like 50 man. I mean, sometimes a lot, way more. But like doing those tournaments helped a lot because you're just prepared for it. So going to the state tournament, knowing I'm gonna get a lot of matches and able to put points up for Team Selma, and so we could place as team, try to win it as a team or place high, uh, which gave me even more killer mentality because I knew how to get pins, get bonus points and stuff, which I love doing, and can't wait to do it in Arizona State. So it was great having those 48 man or even more people at the state tournament.
Tell us about your parents. What kind of fans are they in the stands? They going pretty crazy when you win? Are they pretty calm? What are they like?
Uh, my dad's more laid back, just with the camera, just recording them. My mom, I mean, you could hear her across the whole arena and stuff. She's just young. So I'm pretty sure you could hear her if you go to a tournament, like, I mean, she's loud, but she's kind of kicked back a little bit, just to do my own thing. She knows she doesn't have to scream a lot or just, yeah, but she only screams if she sees me laying back. She'd be just telling me, "Come on, Richard, like, uh, don't be satisfied." She'd be saying that a lot, or just yelling and screaming. So, yeah, my mom be the crazy one, but that's how it be.
She's passionate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we're kind of winding down here, but we got a couple little segments we like to do with our guests. The first one is called Wins and Whoopins. So I'm trying to get you to think back over the span of your career from the very first match you wrestled till the most recent one. Can you pick out one single win that's memorable for whatever reason? You beat somebody really good. You beat somebody, he beat you. It was a big comeback, or it can be for whatever reason it's memorable to you. And then the flip side, right? Like one time you just took a whooping that was just like bad, right? And everybody's kind of got a story on either side, but like somebody who just kicked your butt up and down the mat and you got off the mat and you don't know what happened, or they rolled you up and it was embarrassing, or looking for a high point and a low point. And you can answer either one first.
Okay. Okay, so let's do the low point. So I would say, not a weapon, but just a loss, because I never. No, actually, yeah, I got a low point. So it was, I think my second year going to wrestling. My parents throw me to Tulsa Nationals as my second year of wrestling. I don't know what I'm doing. Um, I ended up going for third place. I lost in the semis, I think, to some kid. So I was winning 11-0, and then I just in the third period get head and arm put to my back and got pinned. It was like 30. I think it was like a minute left in the third period. I was about to win. Kid just collarized me and just head and arms me. Then I just get pinned. Boom.
Rough.
And then when I got back to the Selma gym, to our youth club, my coaches were just like gassing on me, because that's what we do. It's like, oh, you got head and arm. Like, how you up 11-0, get head and arm. So I was like, damn, you're right. Then my most memory would be my second year. So after Tulsa Nationals, I cut weight to like, I think it was like, I don't know what weight I was, like probably 40s or something. I made it to the finals. I was going against Eric Kusani. He was going for the Trinity, and he takes me down in the first period, and then right after that, I hit a Granby. I just learned. Coach Ishmael taught me it back in Selma at Granby, so I tried the Granby, and I got 5 points out of it. Then going to second period, I just chose bottom. I didn't get out. Then he chose bottom third period. I rode him out, almost turned him and stuff, and then I did a celebration, and then the whole Selma crowd was going crazy, and then I did a little fist pump in the air, and then I don't know, that one would always stick to me, because I was my first national tournament winning it, and then just seeing the fans and the crowd of Selma going crazy, so it was pretty fun.
Heck yeah, man, that sounds awesome. And to win it, like you said, in front of that passionate crowd, I'm sure was a really cool feeling. One more segment, and this is with Kyle Klingman. Basically, we're gonna put you on the hot seat, ask you some questions, and you're gonna sweat it out. So, Kyle.
All right.
Richie, you ready to sweat it out?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right, these are all Arizona State wrestling history questions. So sometimes we kind of give you wiggle room for what the right answer is, but these all have a right answer. So the number one is, what year did Arizona State win an NCAA team title?
1970 something. I don't know, 74, 76. No.
1988.
Oh.
1988. You'll remember that, 'cause if you win another one, you want to be the first one since then. All right, number two. This can be a tough one. I think Mark will get this. Who did Zeke Jones beat in the finals of the 1991 World Championships? He was an 8-time World Olympic champion. Beat him in Bulgaria. He's from Bulgaria. Do you know who it is?
No, I don't, but I know he was from Bulgaria.
Okay.
Once he said that, but I knew he beat some guy from Bulgaria because he told me about it.
Okay.
So
I mean, do we give him half a point there, Mark? Because you
Yeah,
knew he was.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Was it Jordanov?
It was, yeah.
These are tough.
Jordan.
Kyle, you are man.
yeah,
I know these.
I
but I
mean,
freaking work for FloWrestling
I
for a
knew,
living. I'm
I
supposed to
knew,
know
I
this
knew he
stuff.
beat a guy from Bulgaria. So yeah,
I mean, this is sweated out. I mean, what do you
Yeah, yeah.
expect here, Mark?
Jeez,
Come
Kyle's
on.
giving you putting you through the ringer today.
Number 3. Where did Lee Pritz attend college?
Missouri.
That would have been.
No.
You should have said where did he start his coaching career? Because that. And I don't know
Yeah,
if you know
yeah.
this. He was my coach. Lee Pritch was
Yeah,
my
you
coach.
told,
So
he told me.
he was a lot crazier back
Yeah.
then. Not that he's
Yeah.
a little, but he's
It's
awesome.
not a program anymore, unfortunately. It was Eastern Michigan.
Follow up. Where else did he wrestle?
I don't know. You got me on
Oh, flip the script on you, Kyle.
this. You got me. Now you gotta disclose.
I believe it was Clarion. I would feel
did?
stupid if it was something else, but I'm pretty sure he wrestled at Clarion as well.
Okay.
All right, we'll look into that one. So, all right, number 4. This you get some latitude here. Name at least one of Mark Perry's uncles.
John Smith. Right.
Yep, you got it.
Oh,
Of course, we would have accepted Pat, Leroy, Mark, JT Real Muto, who's a catcher.
I don't know who that is.
So you got it. Number 5, final one. Who did Frank Molinaro defeat in the 2005 New Jersey State Finals?
Jordan Burroughs. No.
Yep,
Yeah.
you got it. Don't back out. You
Okay.
got it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give him at least a half a point because you didn't know that Pritz went to wrestle at Clarion.
All right, you get the full one there. So we'll reverse
right.
that. So you got a reversal and you gotta escape there. So
Slow start, strong finish. That's that gas tank you were talking about.
you got it. You're out of the hot seat. You sweat it out. Appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, Richie, that's really everything we wanted to talk about today. I do want to give you the floor, to say anything you might want to say and get the final word here.
I just want to say thank you guys for having me on the podcast. Just want to say thank you to all my coaches, my family out there, Team Selma, and can't wait to start this next journey. And go Sun Devils.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. I wish you the best of luck at Junior Worlds this summer, and then, of course, at Arizona State and beyond from there. So, Richie, thanks so much for tuning in or joining us. Have a great day.
You too.
All right. All right, that's going to do it for today's show. I thought we had a fantastic guest. I think Kyle sometimes makes the questions a little too hard, but Richie fired back, and it was a strong finish. Kyle's just a wrestling historian. He's got a lot of knowledge in that noggin of his.
Like I said, it's sweated out. If we wanted it to be easy, we'd just make a JV tournament, and that's not what this is. This is Olympic style questions, man.
This is no Afton quadrangular.
Exactly.
All right, cool.
Exactly.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for today's show. We appreciate y'all tuning in. For Kyle Klingman, I'm Mark Bader. I'm going to be out at training camp tomorrow with the team, the Olympic team, going to the Pan Ams. Kyle's going to be filling in or taking over, and it's going to be a good one. So thanks so much. We'll see you tomorrow. Adios.